So I'm making this video over on the TikTok app. So we know that this news is going to be watched by many of us. House passes bill that could ban TikTok despite resistance from Trump. Who cares about the resistance from Trump? What about the resistance from the people that share on the app daily? House voted with bipartisan overwhelming fashion on Wednesday to pass a bill that could lead to a nationwide ban against TikTok, a major challenge to one of the world's most popular social media apps. The bill would prohibit TikTok from US app stores unless the social media platform used by roughly 170 million Americans is spun off from its Chinese parent company, ByteDance. It's not yet clear what the future of the bill would be in the Senate. The House vote was 352 to 65, with 50 Democrats and 15 Republicans voting in opposition. Lawmakers supportive of the bill have argued TikTok poses a national security threat because the Chinese government could use intelligence laws against ByteDance, forcing it to hand over the data of U.S. app users. The push to pass the bill came up against headwinds from several different political directions. Former President Donald Trump, who was once a proponent of banning the platform, has since equivocated on his position, while Democrats are facing pressure from young progressives, among whom TikTok remains a preferred social media platform. TikTok creators and Beijing have responded angrily to the upcoming vote, with China's foreign ministry calling it an act of bullying. TikTok has called the legislation an attack on the constitutional right to freedom of expression for its users. It launched a call to action campaign within the app, urging users to call representatives in Washington to oppose the bill. Multiple congressional offices have said they have been flooded with calls. The bill will give ByteDance roughly 5 months to sell TikTok. If not divested by that time, it will be illegal for App Store operators such as Apple and Google to make it available for download. In a rare show of bipartisanship, the measure advanced unanimously out of the powerful House Energy and Commerce Committee, and President Joe Biden said he would sign the bill if it makes it to his desk. Senator Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said on Tuesday would not commit to holding a vote on the House's TikTok bill, underscoring the uncertainty over what will happen next. I'll have to consult and intend to consult with my relevant committee chairman to see what their views would be, he said. Trump pushes back on potential TikTok ban. I honestly don't care what Trump says, honestly, so I'm gonna skip over. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who support the bill have argued that it is not a ban. In recent comments to reporters, Wisconsin Republican Representative Mike Gallagher, who chairs a House Select Committee on China, rejected characterizations of the bill as a TikTok ban. It is not a ban. It puts the choice squarely in the hands of TikTok to sever their relationship with the Chinese Communist Party. As long as ByteDance no longer owns the company, TikTok can continue to survive. They are literally just trying to disband this app because they know that news travels really quickly, that viral stories go really quickly, and news media does not operate the same. News media is bought and sold by advertisement. News media does not push out content like TikTok does. All right, he continues. The basic ownership structure has to change. TikTok has pushed back on claims from lawmakers that the legislation would provide options for the app. This legislation has a predetermined outcome, a total ban of TikTok in the United States. The company wrote on a post on X, the government is attempting to strip 170 million Americans of their constitutional right to free expression. This will damage millions of businesses, deny artists an audience, and destroy the livelihoods of countless creators across the country. TikTok CEO Shu Chu has attempted to schedule 11th hour meetings with members of Congress. The company also sent letters to multiple House lawmakers on Monday, accusing them of mischaracterizing TikTok's call to action campaign, saying it is offensive for lawmakers to dismiss the views of constituents who have overwhelmed congressional offices with phone calls. So, now, what do you guys think about this? This is obviously going to be big. And if you're watching this on TikTok, you know that it's going to be big because we're literally using this app here. Next news article that might be of some interest. Bumble's new CEO reconsiders dating app's signature feature of women making the first move. It feels like a burden. Let's get into this one. The new move since Whitney Wolfe Herd founded Bumble a decade ago, the dating app's calling card has always been that women make the first move. From Bumble's product to its branding, the company has encouraged women to send the first message to men on its dating app and extended that philosophy to a broader mission of women's empowerment. But the new Bumble CEO, Lydianne Jones, is reconsidering whether women making the first move still makes sense. It's obviously been our signature, says Jones, who took over Bumble Inc. chief at the beginning of this year after Wolf Herd stepped down and became the executive chair. But it feels like a burden for a subset of our customers today. When Bumble was founded, one of the main problems women faced on dating apps was the deluge of messages from men on leading competitor Tinder. Bumble's requirement that women in heterosexual pairings send the first message to men was meant to solve that problem. But in 2024, daters' problems are different. Dating apps are in their flop era, some users say, and sending the first message feels like extra work in a sea of unsatisfying swipes rather than empowerment. The company has been iterating on a different set of experiences, Jones says, that help women start conversations or cede that responsibility to someone else. What it means to be an empowered woman today is that you feel in control of your experience. One option lets women choose pre composed opening lines when they set up their accounts, which reduces the anxiety of what to say to a new match. Another model would allow men to send the first message. Overall, Jones aims to improve the quality of profiles, improving the profiles of users who haven't added enough photos or filled out their bio, a common complaint among dissatisfied Bumble users. Um, the app has started testing these options in New Zealand and Australia, Jones says. Reevaluation of whether make the first move is still right for Bumble started under Wolf Herd before Jones took over as CEO. Now Bumble is working towards a launch sometime in the second quarter of 2024. That relaunch would also aim to solve some of Bumble's business challenges. Its share price is down almost 9% over the past year, trading at $11.19 yesterday, about 80% below its 2021 IPO high. Dating apps have struggled with consumers canceling paid subscriptions while tightening their budgets amid high inflation. In 2023, Bumble Inc. posted just over $1 billion in total revenue. Since stepping into the CEO job, Jones has overhauled her executive team, bringing in former colleagues from Slack and Sonos, and laid off 350 employees. She restructured the company from a general manager to a functional model. There are no more GMs running individual apps across Bumble Inc., um, which also includes Badoo, Fruits, and Bumble for Friends, but instead a head of technology overseeing all the apps. Jones joined Bumble from Salesforce, owned by Slack. As Slack CEO, she was focused on workplace communication. She compares her new job to the transition she made earlier in her career between enterprise and consumer. At Slack, I didn't spend as much time thinking about your emotional state. I wanted you to be productive, and that was very important there. A product like Bumble's is so personal, we want to understand your emotional journey. So that could be something that is new on the horizon. Dating apps. I'm not sure how productive they have been thus far, but we shall see if that makes an improvement. All right, so for both of these news articles, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about them. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. More news. Romanian court grants UK's request to extradite the Tator Tot brothers once local legal cases are concluded. A court in Romania's capital on Tuesday granted the request of British authorities to extradite the divisive online influencer, Tator Tot, but only after legal proceedings against him in Romania have been concluded, his spokesperson said. The Bucharest Court of Appeals decision came after Tate, 37, and his brother, Tristan Tot, were detained on Monday evening on arrest warrants issued by British authorities over allegations of sexual aggression in a UK case dating back to 2012 to 2015. The appeals court, where the Tator Tot brothers appeared in handcuffs on Tuesday, escorted by police, also ordered them immediately released, spokesperson Matia Petruska says. Eugene Vidinek, Tate's lawyers hailed the court's decision, saying it provides an opportunity for the brothers to participate fully in their defense and for the legal process to proceed in a transparent manner. 4 women have reported Tator Tot to the UK authorities for alleged sexual violence and physical abuse, but the Crown Prosecution Service decided not to prosecute him. The alleged victims then turned to crowdfunding to cover their legal costs as they pursue a civil case against him. We handed over our evidence about the horrific acts of violence we endured and waited for action. But 4 years later, we were told the UK authorities would not prosecute them. They stayed on their campaign page. It's our one remaining route to hold him accountable. It wasn't immediately clear what Tristan Tate is accused of in the UK. 2024 has been a year of reckoning, and these countries that are not working for women, that are not holding men accountable for their behaviors, it is all coming to light. All of this has to fall. All of this has to fall. The patriarchy that protects these peen havers has got to fall. So I am glad that this is happening and that these women are having a chance to hold these people accountable. Before the court's ruling Tuesday, Petrescu said the Tate brothers, who are dual UK and US citizens, reject the charges and express profound disappointment that such serious allegations are being resurrected without substantial new evidence. Tate is charged in a separate case in Romania with rape, human trafficking, and forming a criminal gang to sexually exploit women. He was arrested near Bucharest in December 2022, along with his brother and 2 Romanian women. Romanian prosecutors formally indicted all 4 in June, and they have denied the allegations. McHugh Jury and Partners, the legal firm representing the 4 British women who accused Tator Tot of rape and serious physical and sexual assaults, said in a statement Tuesday they had urged the British police to immediately seek a warrant for Tate's detention and extradition after they received information last week that he might be planning to flee Romania. Today's news is very welcome, as it had been a significant concern to many that Tate would seek to avoid justice in Romania and abroad, said Matthew Jury, a managing partner at the law firm. We are grateful to the British authorities for taking our concerns seriously and issuing an arrest warrant. Tate is accused of serious criminal offenses against a large number of victims, and he must be held accountable. Jury said that whatever the outcome of the Romanian trial, Tate will also face prosecution in England. He added that since Tate was arrested in Romania, he has spread a vast amount of disinformation about the criminal charges he faces in the UK. In high-profile interviews with popular media figures such as Tucker Carlson and Piers Morgan, more men that spread disinformation and like to peddle in sexism and misogyny. Misogyny. And I know that I butchered these names, y'all. Please forgive me. But Vidiniek said that after the court's decision on Tuesday that the Tate brothers unequivocally deny accusations, they plan to flee judicial proceedings in Romania. We believe this rumor has originated from a popular online influencer who misconstrued a text message from our clients while live streaming. There's simply no truth to it. Tate has amassed an 8.9 million followers on X, formerly Twitter, has repeatedly claimed that prosecutors in Romania have no evidence against him and that there is a political conspiracy to silence him. He was previously banned from various prominent social media platforms for expressing misogynistic views and for hate speech. So there is that on the Tate brothers. We shall see if they are held to account. For my final news article, this couple was talking about what is going on over in South Korea, how they have 150 elementary schools that have no first graders. And they were talking about the response and different comments from in their language. So I'm going to do this article, and I'm going to, if you're on TikTok, I'm just going to put their video in the caption. If you are on my YouTube page, I'm just going to connect it after I show you the article. All right, like I said, over 150 elementary schools have 0 first graders, said the ministry. This is from the Korean Herald. A total of 157 elementary schools across South Korea do not have any first graders set to enroll in March, the Ministry of Education said Monday, as a record low number of new students is expected for the upcoming school year. According to the ministry, nearly every provincial and metropolitan area across South Korea had at least one elementary school that was not expecting new students, except for Seoul, Gwangju, Daejeon, Ulsan, and Sejong. North Jeolla province led all the regions with 34 schools with no new entering school students. The ministry said that 369,325 students have been confirmed to enroll at elementary school when the school year starts in March, accounting for 99.9% of the 369,441 children who were set to start the state mandated education this year. This figure is smaller than the 396,533 that the government estimated in January. It will mark the lowest number of new first graders since the government started keeping tally in 1970, the first time the figure fell below 400,000. Last year, it was over 401,000 new students enrolled in elementary schools. The number of new students starting school was widely expected to drop this year, as only 357,771 babies were born in 2017, which is when most of the first graders for this year were born. It marked a steep drop from 406,243 born the year before. The figure is expected to fall even more as the number of newborns has been on a downward trend in recent years. According to Statistics Korea's January report, 213,571 babies were born between January and November last year. The number of newborns for the entire 2023 is expected to be below 230,000. If confirmed, it will be substantially less than the over 254,000 the year before. It marked the eighth straight year since 2015 that the figure has dropped compared to the previous year. South Korea's total fertility rate, the average number of children a woman will have throughout her year, recorded an all-time low of 0.72 for last year and is expected to fall to 0.68 this year and to 0.65 next year. There are so many far-reaching repercussions that will happen because of falling birth rate. And there are many countries globally that are experiencing a falling birth rate. I keep highlighting South Korea because this school situation really shows the impact. And just think of all of the students that will be matriculating or not because there are a lack of kids. How will that impact businesses around there? How will that impact teachers? How will that impact the bus system, the transportation system? So many things will be impacted by women choosing not to have babies. And I speak on this because I want America's birth rate to continue to fall to hell until such time as the government gets it together and stops being a Christo fascist country that is aimed at stripping women of their rights. We need to be on this 4B movement until women actually are fully autonomized humans with rights. So here, if you're, like I said, if you're on YouTube, here comes these people's video. If you're on TikTok, click into the caption. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you made it this far, go ahead and subscribe.
So the new school year has recently started in Korea since it's March, and there's been a lot of articles recently about how the admission rate for first graders has plummeted dramatically. There's even 150 schools across the country where there wasn't one single first grade student enrolling. And we're going to talk about this particular article here and what Koreans have to say about it.
An elementary school teacher said compared to last year, there are about 25% fewer students this year. And this extends to kindergartens, and they said that kindergartens and childcare places that are closed nowadays are becoming for elderly people, like nursing homes.
It's estimated that the number of young children will decrease by over 30% in 2028, and the number of kindergartens and childcare centers will decrease by about 12,000. So we're going to read off a few top comments written by Korean netizens as a response to this article. This pitiful country only seems to throw money at the low birth rate issue. Instead, overhaul the education system entirely to create a happy nation for the children.
Get rid of the college entrance exam and allow anyone to attend the university they want. Like the United States, admission should be easy, but graduation should be challenging.
This person says, there's nothing to say about not giving birth. Do you think providing cash support during infancy would make things better?
This person said, Korea's number one adversary who made the situation is the politicians.
So let us know what you guys think. Have you also been seeing this in the news nowadays about the new school year starting in Korea and also very few students enrolling for first grade?